In my last live so suddenly, but sure enough, it was because the sheriffs were here, and we can look down there and you can see there's their vehicle. Um, he did come back, and the thief did come back, get his vehicle, and got it off the property. Um, but I had a plate on it. They watched the video, so they can see, the description and everything. Uh, they're coming back here, back this way. They might need something from me. Uh, Maybe the video, but yeah. So that was exciting morning this morning. But they're gonna keep an increased presence out there, and we were talking about the previous incidents of people stealing off that property. But yeah, it's sad, you know. People, the neighbors, their house burned down. It's a tragic situation. Then you have all these other people just trying to take advantage of it. That's not good. Not good. But Veteran Nation is here. uh, Thank you all so much for jumping right back in. Hope you had a chance to watch the short from the thief caught in the act this morning. I posted it onto a couple of my local Facebook groups because that's where people out here, that's where they really seem to communicate. So hopefully someone will recognize the guy, which I'm sure they will. But yeah, just don't steal. Don't steal. Yeah. Just follow all the stuff that we learned in kindergarten. Didn't you all watch Mr. Rogers? Yeah. Treat people kindly. That's from Mr. Rogers. I learned treat people nice. Have a set of shoes for inside your house, and wear a sweater. I actually I'll have to post to the channel. When I was a kid, I want to say I was like 3 years old. Um, Mr. Rogers, yeah, I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, and he had come to town, and we went and they did a live show. And we didn't get to meet Mr. Rogers because everybody afterwards was like there to see him. But me and my brother, we did get to meet Mr. McFeely. Um, he was the uh, the mailman, speedy delivery. And so yeah, we've got that. It's an old Polaroid, but yeah, we've got the picture of me and my brother with Mr. McFeely. So I might post that to the might post that one day. But yeah, we need more people like that teaching our children. Um, because yeah, I mean, you'd think these things would stick through life, but people get very desperate. But like I told that guy, don't come back around here again. Don't come back around here again. You're not welcome. What the hell? You see that? That's a sign. It means not welcome. For those of you who get that reference, you're laughing right now. Not exactly the most appropriate movie to be quoting. Um, or the other one I like to quote is falling down. See that? That's a sign. It means private property. I'm taking out the F word, of course. That was such a great movie. And I do enjoy when okay, I don't like going to LA. In fact I loathe going into LA. It's not my favorite city. And I'm just putting this onto my little stand here. Oh, I hope I didn't lose you. So I love going into LA, but there's a couple movies where I do love going and seeing the places where they filmed it, and Falling Down is one of my favorites. Uh, when I went to I believe it was the Santa Monica Pier, Like I was out there standing, and I'll have to go through and see if I have them. But I had my friend, she's from the UK, had never seen the movie, and I was like, yeah, just film me. And I'm like standing there, and I'm like, I'm the bad guy. How did that happen? Interesting. We got a van driving by. That's not one that I normally see. Russell Mel sucks. I think you mean Russell Meeks, right? Autocorrect got yeah. I oh my god, autocorrect um on YouTube is the worst. Like if I ever sent you stuff that's gibberish, I apologize. Autocorrect changes so much of my stuff on YouTube. I get really frustrated with it. 69 people in here. Everybody hit the like. And if you can, go to veteranationfoundation.com as well. Take a look at our t-shirts and our coffee mugs. Um, everything you buy, we get some money back for it. So get yourself something nice, and support some veterans while you're doing it. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of new programs I should do for veterans. Oh, I see we got Jane's Jungle Safari in here. Welcome. Yeah, I caught a thief this morning. If you haven't seen that YouTube short, it's already been put up. But yeah, I caught a guy on my neighbor's property. The deputies were laughing about it. They're like, "Oh, okay, you got right up to him." Yeah, yeah. Um, but again, if you don't confront people, sometimes you have to confront people and kind of get in their space a bit, make them uncomfortable, so that they realize what they're doing is not right. And I'm not saying assault anyone. Just make them uncomfortable. That's all it takes. But like I said earlier, on the previous stream, I was ready because in my head I was prepared that this guy, because I have my camera out, he's in which he did say, "You can't film me." They always say that, and you 100% can. I was ready for him to put his hands on me and me have to defend myself. I was not going to assault him, but I was ready for that. That's I will never put my hands on someone with intent to harm unless they are causing me to defend myself. And you guys will see a video. It has not come out yet. I have court May 30th, and after that date, that video will go out. But I had to defend myself against one of the directors of 29 Palms. So if you're a Marine, you've been to 29 Palms. Yeah, one of their directors decided to put his hands on me, and I had to defend myself, and I defended myself successfully. But that video will get out there. Sorry, I got people. People are texting me now about the video. They're like, "Oh my God, what an idiot!" What, like, some people are like, "This only happens to you," talking about me, but a lot of that's because of me, because I refuse to accept this stuff as normal. So if I see someone stealing from my neighbor, I'm going to go do something about it. I'm going to take a video. I'm going to confront that person. I'm going to make them uncomfortable. And more videos like this. You've seen the Karen videos and stuff out there. More videos like this uh, will start to get noticed, and hopefully, then people will start changing their behavior. I mean, my God, don't steal from other people. Don't go onto property that's not yours. That's and if you do it and I'm in a position to do something, I'm gonna light you up. I'm gonna pull out that camera, pull out my flashlight, and you're gonna be all over social media. I'll do it for the views. I'm not like 4chan. I don't do it for the lulls, but I will do it for the views. Because the more views I get, the more people I can help with my nonprofit. And see, that's how I take the bad stuff and turn it into a good thing. Just like how with my PTSD, I was asked the other day in a veterans group, And if you're a veteran on Facebook, veteran to veteran, the number two veteran is the group. Someone asked, "What do you do to help with your PTSD?" And I said, I try to help people because it makes you feel better about yourself. You then can take any of the negative stuff that's being pushed on you, like when the VA tries to screw me over, like we saw 2 weeks ago on my YouTube lives. um, that's how I will put up with it and do it to try to make it better, a better experience for the next guy. And then I can walk away from that situation and not have as much anger because I know I'm doing my part to improve someone else's life and someone else's experience further down the line. So that's how that's a big way that I've found has helped with my PTSD. Um, there's a lot of misunderstanding about PTSD. It's actually a very normal thing, and I think most people, I would say, probably 70% of the country actually has PTSD. Uh, Most people just, it's undiagnosed now, or it's very light. With PTSD, it's your brain putting you into survival mode. And once you start like helping people with PTSD, you start seeing it in the eyes. You'll sometimes see the 1,000 yard stare, but you'll also see where just you can tell someone's completely involved in their head. Like they're thinking, there's a little hamster on the wheel and it's just going round and round. And that is PTSD. But it shows itself, it manifests itself in other ways. So for me, I think through problems. So my mind starts going 90 miles an hour. 90 miles an hour. When I have a severe attack, I get chest pains. I actually thought I was having a heart attack one time. My hands will shake. If you go into my service dog harassment videos, you'll see the one where the gentleman in the Cub Scout uniform, he comes up to me to try to tell me I can't be there with my dog. And I was at my son's Cub Scout meeting, and that was the Cub Scout leader. That was our fifth incident. And after that, like, I had my family there, my parents and my son, and my hands were shaking, like visibly shaking. And my mom was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, it's fine. This is a PTSD attack. This will go away. I understand. That's what this was. I go, it used to be way more severe when I didn't know what was happening to me, but now I do. And I can make it through it. So that's how it manifests with me. And once you know how it's going to manifest, you can actually put together a PTSD plan. And I've talked about that on the channel. For anyone, if you mentally prepare yourself, you like the human brain is amazing. It is amazing the things that your brain can do. You can train your brain to do a lot of different stuff. And as an example, I have a checklist. So if I have someone who's messing with me, that's when I normally get a PTSD attack. Is someone purposefully messing with me, I will immediately go into my checklist. I've got people I know I can call and talk out whatever the issue is. I have memories that I will start thinking about that are happy memories that will, calm my senses down. I forget what they call that. There's a medical term, but there's stuff like that that I'll do. But I have this all pre-prepared now. And then there's also the severe things. Like if I'm having a severe PTSD attack, like I had one time where someone, that same director that attacked me, which you guys will see the video, he released medical information about me from my employment record aboard the base. So he got information and then released it to other people. And when I found out about that, I had a severe, severe PTSD attack. But I went right into my PTSD plan. And, I knew it would pass. It took a couple hours that day because people were, messing with me. Has anyone heard how Zim is doing? I have not heard anything. Apparently, it has been confirmed it was a heart attack. Prayers for acting Mayor Zim. I don't know how he's doing. I do pray for him, and I hope he's okay. Uh, if he was already at the ER and if it was a heart attack, that is a very survivable thing if you're, already getting, if you're getting medical care for it. Just like how they life flighted Carl Hughes after his motorcycle accident, and his life was saved. So, um, without knowing any of this stuff, from what I have heard of the situation, the fact that he was at the ER, that shows that he probably has a good chance. But we'll have to wait for more facts to come out. I don't want to speculate too much, but definitely pray for acting Mayor Zim of Otter Creek, Florida. This cat is weird. He's doing some weird stuff. Everybody in here, please like, share, subscribe. Oh, Flippin' Adventures, good morning. We were actually just talking about acting Mayor Zim. I saw you on the streams last night. That was a interesting non-meeting last night. But I hope. Uh, how funny would it be if we can get Joseph and Carl to go to Mark Feather and do a letter to Otter Creek Council and say, "Look, you have to seat these people. Make it happen." I think that would be just hilarious. we come we come full circle. um, For those just joining the stream, this morning I caught a thief on my neighbor's property, and I pulled out my phone and I got a video of it, and I've already uploaded it to the channel. So go to the shorts. Deanna, please, if you would, because I've spelled your name differently in different things. If you could, please put the correct spelling of your name, either here or somewhere else, just so we all know, because I know we all butcher it. Like we all know it's Deanna, but I've seen people put Diana. I know I but used an IO. Please keep Zim in your prayers. It was unexpected events. Yeah, absolutely. And Zim is a, as I said earlier, he's a good steward of the people. And we are always looking for good people to represent us. And it's sad that, we found a good one and there's people trying to undermine him. And when we had Madam Mayor Therese, they were always trying to undermine her. But that's why we need to get Zim. We need to get Carl and Joseph seated. And yeah, they need an attorney to write a letter and say, look, I don't care what you have to do, seat them. And it should be to the Elections Commission in Levy County there. But um, okay, so it's spelled Anna, like Anna. Okay, perfect. But misspellings. You're probably used to it, I'm sure. Um, with a name like Mike, I laugh whenever someone misspells my name. But what's funny is with my last name is Arthur. And I always get people who want to spell it like author. And so I see that misspelling a lot. But this is kind of like I hate that I have to do it this way when I want people to spell it the right way. Like if they're trying to write down on official paperwork, I'll be like, spell it like King Arthur. And if I say it that way, they never misspell it. They always spell it correctly. But if they're like they'll put, Aurer, I get some weird spellings of my last name, which it's not a common last name, but it's also not an uncommon name. So, um, I my ex-wife, when we had our son, wouldn't let me name what I wanted to name him. I wanted to name him King Arthur, no middle name. He was just gonna be King Arthur. And she was like, I am not doing that. No way in hell. And I'm like, that's like the greatest name for a little boy. That's like the greatest name. Like that. If I if I ever have any more kids, that is gonna be at the top again. I want a son named King Arthur. I mean, how cool would that be? You could walk around and be like, yeah, I'm King Arthur. And people name their kids some weird stuff nowadays. I wanted to name my son Easton. That's not a bad name. Yeah, that's not a bad name. Mine is Janice, but everyone calls it or Janice or Janet. When I hear Janice, I think of Sopranos. But then again, a lot of my day, I think of The Sopranos. I know people love Breaking Bad. I didn't like Breaking Bad. I thought it was just a cheap Sopranos kind of knockoff. I loved The Sopranos. But yeah, Janice in there. Oh, okay. So it would have been East and West. Okay. See, that I think would have been really unique and funny. And then when you see some of these names that what people actually name their kid, I'm like, mhm. But yeah, I actually met a guy one time. His name was Justin Falls, which isn't funny until you found out his middle name was Casey, and I'm like, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Justin Casey Falls. I love doing fake names on stuff, like going to my oh, you're Italian. Okay, so you're like Janice from Sopranos. Uh hey, what's this? Well, this morning I did a YouTube short, and I caught a thief on my neighbor's property. So check that out. And sh- you're that fence George Bridge does not trepidation what do water Cambridge University. Do you know what? I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. I think the autocorrect may have got you because it seems a little bit jumbled there. What do you got for us, Infinity Gaming? um, yeah, I'll go to my like local city hall and I'll write fake names who for public comment. They'll be like Chris Peacock. Say that fast. Anita Bath. My son went to school with a boy named Justin Case. Went to school with a girl named Bonitha Sheets. Oh, I've heard of some funny names in my hometown. There was actually a urologist named Dr. Richard Tapper. So yeah, if you have urination problems, go to Dick Tapper. I got to check some of your other videos. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Anything, I do take constructive criticism. So if there's any way I can make them better and more entertaining, let me know. Uh, if you're like, hey, get better looking, sorry, this face is as good as it gets. I can't do anything about that. Beneath the sheets is pronounced like beneath the sheets. Yeah, that's what the I was trying to like. I wanted people to sound it out themselves. Those are the ones I like when you can't tell right away, but you have to hear it. Um, that's like Mike Hunt. See, I separated that one because I am live on stream and I don't want to lose this one. uh, there's some funny ones out there. I'm trying to think. Me and my brother, my brother loves prank phone calls. My heart looks the same as everybody else. Uh, it's funny. I spent a full day. I was in my office at one of my past jobs, and there was nothing going on. Like everybody was gone. I was like the only one, and I had to be there. And so I just spent a full day calling my local Walmart, trying to order a pizza from the electronics section. And after a couple times, they kind of locked up. They figured it out, and they wouldn't take any more calls. So I'd have to call the we called her Bonnie, but the teachers always used her proper name at roll call, and the kids get a giggle out. It's a like that Beavis and Butthead butt kiss, Gaylord. Are you gonna laugh every time I say Daniel butt kiss's name? Amanda hug and kiss. How he felt her. I have fun with all that. I love that stuff. Um, um, I'm trying to think like some of the. some of the ones we used to always use. So we used to have this prank call that we did as kids. We would like either my cousin would come to our house to spend the night, or we'd go to his house and spend the night. And we would just pick a number in the phone book, just a random number, and we would call it. And you know, they would answer, and we'd be like, "Yeah, is Mark there?" And they'd be like, "Sorry, you got the wrong number." "Oh, okay, sorry." And we'd hang up. And then you wait like 15, 20 minutes, and someone else, they would call. "Hi, is Mark there?" "You have the wrong number." "Okay, sorry." And we would keep doing this. And it would be a different person. So they were getting a different voice every single time. This was clearly in the days before caller ID. And we would call this number all night long until they stopped taking phone calls. And then we would stop for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And after that hour and a half, 2 hours passed, we would call back and these people would answer. We'd be like, "Hey, yeah, this is Mark. Did I get any calls?" Some people would rage. We had one guy, it got super silent and he starts laughing. He's like, "Yeah, Mark, you got some calls. Is your refrigerator running?" "Yeah, we got that one." We used to call the bowling alley and asked if they had 10-pound balls. "Oh, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for being worth serving." Yeah, yeah. We'd call KFC and ask them to describe their breasts. We would do that. I'm trying to think. We used to like. I miss the days of public access shows. One thing I do want to do is to give, do like a Google Voice and give people a way to call into the show. Maybe just to leave voicemails of funny stories, because veterans always have funny stories. Um, Maybe I could set something up so like if people want to call in live and just, I don't care if they troll me. I don't care at all. I like pranks. Last night, Megan Fox stream MG lost DUI guy about the rabbit when he visited Otter Creek. Oh, oh, the heart likes cheese. That's good to know. You should move to Wisconsin. They have some great cheese there. Actually, speaking of cheese, I'm a big college football fan, and I found out about this a couple years ago, and I still need to try it. Washington State University is the Cougars. But they actually make their own cheese there, and it's called Cougar Gold. And I heard it's amazing. And I need to order some. Apparently, it's like it comes in the cheese tin. It's something like $40, and they're always out. The wine sucks in Wisconsin. I'm very fortunate because I can take it's a little bit of a drive, like an hour and a half for me, but I can go to Temecula, California, and go to wine country. Um, so I can get good wine, and I'm not a wine guy, but I will go down there to do wine tasting because I'll try them and see which ones I like, and then I'll have like a glass or two, and it's kind of fun wine tasting. I'm not a wine snob or anything, but I do enjoy going down there. And Temecula has some beautiful weather. Got to try that cheese. It's called Cougar Gold. And yeah, just remember Washington State University. They make it up there. But yeah, Cougar Gold. Cougar is the name of is the nickname for their teams. So yeah, they call it Cougar Gold. And I hear it's great. I need to get up there. I've only been up to Washington once. I flew into Bellingham and I stayed on Whidbey Island. Um, Beautiful place. Like, you want to see a beautiful part of the country, go up that way. Got a truck driving by. See, whenever I'm in a rural enough area that when a vehicle goes by, I'm, my ears perk. Wine is good in New York. I've heard that. Bring some cheese. Oregon has some great wine. Oregon and obviously Napa Valley, but yeah, I've talked to people from Oregon and I forget the island. It's outside of Seattle. When I did go up to Whidbey, we did go to a winery, but it was on one of the islands. It wasn't in Seattle. Um, I did I did go to the fisherman's market and everything down there. the original Starbucks and all that in Seattle. I had to go to the if you Google how to take calls during YouTube live, there are video instructions on how to do it without using your own phone number. That's what I was going to do. Google Voice number. I know you can set up a Google Voice, and I think you can do calls on the computer. I don't think I can do it using my phone. I'm using the phone right now. Um, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do like live call-ins. And I would encourage people to prank me. Like, I laugh at that stuff. I used to love watching the old Tom Green show when 4chan found out about it, and he had comments like this, and they would just massively jump into the comments and just put like super funny stuff and super racist stuff. They figured out how to put a swastika using your keyboard. Like if you hold like certain keys down, it's one of the images that, like wingdings that you can do in your camera, but it's a symbol. And they would just like all his comments would be nothing but swastikas. Because the swastika was an Indian symbol of hope, if I remember correctly, way before it was ever preempted by the Nazis. Cleveland, Ohio has good beer. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm from Toledo, so I don't like Cleveland. I, I'm not a Browns fan. I'm a Lions fan. I'm a Detroit Tigers fan. Toledo is closer to Detroit, so I cheer for everything uh, Detroit, not Cleveland. But I am a Buckeyes fan. Um, I wait for the infomercial calls, then I prank them like a reverse prank. Hey, good morning, Kevin or Kevin. Um, I have had some fun in Cleveland. I have gone to the flats. I saw the comedian Greg Probst there, the guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway? Saw him there. It was a good show. I love comedian. Tigers and Lions. Yep, yep. Which again, you get the Tigers, Lions. You think they would name one of their other teams the Bears, but instead they've got the Red Wings and the Pistons. I'm not a can I clean your air ducts, but they don't like them when you mistake them for fried duck. I can imagine that prank phone call. Oh yeah, you're talking about air ducts and be like, oh yeah, I like a little bit of teriyaki sauce. General So's. Apparently that's the story. General So's, the reason it's called General So's chicken is because he actually preferred duck. Don't know if that's true. I grew up between Cleveland and Akron. They do have great food. Okay, Cleveland does have great food. I will say that. Um, I'm a Bears fan, so between us, we're an us. Yeah, and there used to be a rivalry between Detroit and Chicago. It's kind of faded over the years. Detroit Pistons actually started in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the Detroit Lions actually started in Portsmouth, Ohio. In fact, I don't think they've tore it down, but they were talking about tearing down the original stadium. But the NFL started as the Ohio Professional Football League. That's why. Manson, Ohio has the National or NFL Hall of Fame, is because that all those teams morphed into the NFL. Um, but yeah, it's interesting all that stuff. I'm not an NBA fan, so I really like when I was a kid, I was a fan of Magic Johnson. I watched the Lakers, which that was right when the Pistons were going at it with them during the Bad Boys era. So I never really cheered for the Pistons. I do love the Red Wings. I love the Tigers. Do I believe in Bigfoot? So okay, we're gonna talk about Bigfoot. So my best friend, who I have been friends with since kindergarten, uh, he is a professor of biology. And I keep telling him I want to go with him. Maybe I'll go with other veterans, but I want to do a hunt for Bigfoot. And, I want to film it for the thing. And I'm always like, this is the year that we discover Bigfoot. And he's like, yeah, no, that's never going to happen. And uh, there used to be Vancouver bears. So I want to do a video and me totally convinced, that Bigfoot is real and him totally convinced it's not. And we'll do videos and I'll be like, yeah, we got proof of Bigfoot. And he'll be like, yeah, no, we didn't. Magic is from my hometown, Lansing, Michigan. Yeah, he is from there. Uh, I want to come. I got to get up to Northern California. I've only been up there a couple times. I talked about maybe going up there for the Sonoma race because I was thinking about maybe taking like some of the Veteran Nation stuff on the road and like maybe selling stuff or just letting people know about us because I do want to get this show on the road and go meet veterans. That's the automatic feeder for the cat. He is waiting if he's eyeing it up. If he were in the other room, he'd be tearing through the house to go get his food. Detroit, Michigan is a mess this week because they have the NFL draft. Yeah, I can believe that. Detroit is usually a mess just because it's Detroit. I love going up. Like my grandfather was a big. Uh, oh, Janice Baldwin gave us $2 to start your Bigfoot finding fund. Thank you so much. I got a truck coming by. Sorry. So you got to deal with my ADHD. It's like squirrel. Uh, Yeah, I'm a big Tigers fan. My grandfather, he knew Al Kaline and a couple of the other Tigers from the '68 team. And then when I was a kid, the '84 team that won the series, they were coming up. I've got Sparky Anderson's autograph somewhere. I've got a lot of memorabilia for those times. So yeah, I'm still a big Tigers fan. They started off really good this year. Um, I don't know if we'll turn into anything. I would I do want to. Okay, so I do want to go up to Sequoia National Forest and Redwood National Forest because I'm here in California. I do want to see these things, and maybe I'll go up a little bit north to like Yosemite and do a Bigfoot hunt. I do want to get my buddy in on that just because he's a doctor of biology. He's like, I don't want to be attached to that at all. And that's the fun of it, is having him being like, yeah, no, we did not find anything. This is just us in the woods looking like idiots. I also want to find some. I'd love to find some veterans who are ghost hunters, and do like a ghost, like a veteran ghost thing. There are some veterans who do it out in Bakersfield, and they put out some videos. And I tried reaching out to them to do a collab, and they just never got back in touch with me. But I know they're Marine veterans, and Bakersfield's just like hour and a half from me. I can get up there. Actually, maybe more closer to 2 hours. But I think that would be fun. I just want to experience these things. I a friend of mine who's a veteran. She is spending. So she's actually a good friend of mine. She lives down in Biloxi, Mississippi, and she's going to the Myrtles, and she's going to be spending all night. And I told her, please, please, please take video and do it for the channel. Give me, I'll happily publish it. But the trillions of satellite in space would have found at least one Bigfoot by now, though. You know, it's funny because there's s- several species that we thought were extinct that, in the last 10, 15 years, obviously not as big as Bigfoot, but we found that they're actually not extinct. The musk deer out of, it's actually in Pakistan and it used to be in Pakistan and Afghanistan. That's been spotted again. And the musk from that it was hunted in virtually into extinction because that scent, getting that was worth more per ounce than gold. But apparently they've found the musk deer again, still alive. I would go do ghost hunting. Allegedly, Western New York has a lot of places to go. I believe that. I believe that. I mean, um, yeah, there's some historical towns there in Western New York, um, like out there in the Adirondacks and close to Buffalo and Erie, PA. Yeah, the cat is eating his food. Um, I didn't see any hummingbirds out there today. We got the hummingbird feeder right next to where he lays. Uh, okay, we got another truck driving by. I've seen there's a junk truck that I have seen stop at my neighbor's property looking at if they can take stuff off for recycling, but I think they saw me when I walked out and were watching them because they drove off that day. All these people want to steal from my neighbors. It's like, They had a tragedy. Their house burned down. Leave their property alone. Just a community of people that don't want other people there, bro. Watch Scooby Doo. you know, you, I don't get that. People who are veterans or family of veterans, if I can help with this channel support you, I'll do it. Um, I will absolutely do that. I don't see the point of, like, I'll protect my brand. I'm not going to help anyone who I think is doing anything bad. So I'll protect the Veteran Nation brand. But if there's good people out there doing stuff, I'll promote you. You send me a video and say, hey, tell people to go subscribe to my channel. Absolutely. Uh, go subscribe to What's Doing Willis. Subscribe to Madam Mayor's Adventures, Mark Feather. Um, I think all those accounts have more subscribers than me, but that, I'm not, I'm here to help people. I don't care if I have 5 subscribers or I think I've got 3,600 now. I don't care. I'm doing this to help people. Um, and if I can help people get more, do I know Mil Tevet? Yeah, they actually just published. I did an interview with on the Return to Roots podcast with Mil Tevet. Those guys are great. Um, yeah, check out their channel. They're 2 veterans. Now, when they had me on, we actually did a live. They have progressed further with their show than I did. It took me like 2 years to kind of figure out really how to do this, but they figured it out very quickly. And they do a great show. And they're good guys trying to do. Sorry, I apologize. That last comment I said was to Janice. Okay, no worries. Um, it's a conversation here. That's what this is. And I'm normally of the mind, take it when I do a live, take it wherever we need to, wherever people are most entertained. But yeah, the Return to Roots podcast, the guys at Mil Tevet, they're really good. I fully support them. I've offered them use of my channel as well. They only have like 200 subscribers, so go to their channel and help promote them. Subscribe to them. They're really good. Same thing with Eric Miller. He's a veteran. He's a minister. His at name is at KD7LTN, and that is his ham radio call sign. And he's a big supporter of What the Hales. Um, so go show him some love. He's a veteran who's been in a rough state that like they don't want to help him. So I've said no, I'll absolutely help you. And he's a super nice guy, and he's a minister. I've offered to him. I've asked him to see if he would do like a weekly prayer or affirmation, and just do it, and we'll simultaneously either put it out on his channel, but use, because I do have a bigger following than him, use my platform to get his stuff out there so people can find him. Same thing with brother Vince. He's at Vet Talk, and now with him, it's the E's are threes, and there's an underscore in the middle. He's down in Texas. He's a Christian. I did a YouTube short about him last week. He's a great guy. I've been following him for over a year. He's kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus back and forth. Um, but yeah, and here's the other thing. I also have my True Social. I've got 7,000 followers there. Twitter, I'm almost up to 2,500 there. I'll also push your stuff out there too. And the thing is, for people watching, if there's something that you want attention brought to, do not hesitate to bring it to me. I don't do this for me. This is not for the skipper to get out there. This is to help you guys. So if you're like, hey, can you push this out on your Twitter? Absolutely. Especially if it's like something for charity or, my stuff is to help veterans, military, and their families. But I can always promote people, and I won't hesitate at one bit to do that. Um, Same thing with Jeremy and George. I if I can do my part to help them get to 1 million followers, I think they're at just over 700,000 now. We need to get them over 1 million followers because they're good people. My father-in-law is a Vietnam vet, was a POW. We could use some prayers for him. He's in the hospital. Please and thank you for your service. Thank you for letting us know. Thank you for your father's service, and thank you for being worth serving. Here, I'm putting that up. Um, oh, hold on. I'm putting that up, Janice, so that everyone. We're going to highlight your comment. Um, I will be praying for him that he definitely recovers, and see if he does recover and starts getting. Oh, I've had, yeah, Gigi, I've had a very interesting morning. But Janice, if your dad, if he would ever want to come on and tell his story, because the Vietnam veterans were my heroes as a kid growing up. We watched all the Vietnam movies, me and my brothers. We'd always play, war, and we were always playing Vietnam War stuff. So, um, if he would ever want to come on the show and talk about any of his stories, I understand they can be difficult, but we have to, me as a veteran, I tell my stories because the younger generations need to know, and we need to use things like social media and YouTube to get these stories out there so that they'll be there for other generations. They pretty much shut down most of the legions in my city. The few that are left, are fight for profit or just staying open. Um, if you could send me any of their stuff, if they have social media, I follow several VFWs, American Legions, AMVETS, and when they have events, I've had people like send them to me on Instagram and like, hey, can you, you know, uh, put this out there? I happily do all that stuff. And if it's somewhere where, like nearby, where I can go and support, I will do that. And you never know. Sometimes you never know where someone will find something. There's been stuff where I'm like, oh, this is going on. Okay, yeah, let me go. Like I'm sometimes it's weird stuff. Like I remember I had a friend who it was her birthday, and she was a little bit depressed because she was going through a divorce and her kids were with her ex, and so she had no real plans for her birthday, and I was like, let's go do something. And she was like, well, what are we gonna do? So I started looking and I found out, I'm like, oh, I found an event I'm taking you to. This is gonna be the most memorable birthday you'll ever have. And she was like, okay, I'm a bit scared. I'm like, it's not scary. I go, it might be a little bit offensive, but it also fun. Oh, oh, he wrote a book. Okay, send me the link because I want to read the book. I want to buy a copy and read it. I want to talk about it. And if he's available for an interview, after he recovers, I would love to have him on the show to talk about it. But I told her, it was her birthday, and I told her that I will give you one of the most memorable birthdays ever. And I took her to go see midget wrestling. And she was like, when she found out, she's like, yeah, this is gonna be memorable. And yeah, it was. It was fun. Um, the main wrestler, he looked. I will say he looked just like 50 Cent, just a much shorter version, and he goes by 25 Cent. So go on to Instagram and follow 25 Cent. See, I'll promote anybody. But he's been in a couple movies and stuff. And one of the female wrestlers that was there, she had been on Jerry Springer like something like 7 times. Um, but yeah, they were entertaining. It was fun. I know a lot of people don't like that. They're like, it's exploiting. Okay, but that's how they want to make money. They want to entertain, and who am I to tell someone they can't make money that way if that's how they choose? So we got 36 people in here. Everybody, please hit the like button. I appreciate it if you do. Um, I have to start cleaning stuff up around this place. Um, that guy did get his car. The thief did come back and get his car because when the deputies came out, it was gone already. I am going to look out this window. So the deputies are gone. So yeah, I'm I'm just keeping an eye open because I'm gonna have to keep an eye open on my property now because with this guy having been here, I worry that they'll come and try to mess with my property. Sorry, I'm just checking on my tomatoes. I've got the lemon tree is doing pretty good. I got let's see, I've got a lemon right there. I got a lemon right there. Got another one up there. This tree, I am so happy that this thing survived. When I was at my old place, it was actually outside and the rabbits, they were eating all the leaves. I had a neighbor who was cutting off all of the branches because you can graft on the lemons onto other trees so that they'll become fruit bearing, and just it just got way tore up. And yeah, I, and the thing is, like, I now have peaches and apricots, and those trees are doing really good outside. Uh, you guys may have seen those on the thing I did a couple weeks ago where I was burning out some stumps. I'm going to take any of the fruits and stuff that I grow here, and I'll be sharing them with my neighbors. Um, so that's why I get frustrated when neighbors come and take my stuff, um, because I intend to share anyway. Um, I mean, I'm not gonna eat all this fruit when it starts coming up. I'll eat some of it and save some of it, but and I'll probably can some of it. But yeah, I don't see what the point of having fruit trees are if you're not sharing with your neighbors. I get the next thing I want to do out here is there's a type of desert grape that grows. So I want to get some of those vines and get those planted, and maybe I can start making my own wine. Maybe I'll start looking into making mead with these fruits that I do have. I don't know if I can, other than lemonade. I don't know if I can do anything with the lemons, but with the peaches and the apricots, I know I can do some mead. So, if any of you have experience with that, tell me where I should go to learn. I'm just figuring all this stuff out on my own. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I thank you all for joining me this morning. Uh, Keep an eye open. I'll be at the VA hospital later on today. Hopefully, I get my glasses today. And, you know, uh, if not, I'll be doing a live and showing how the VA tries to screw over some of us veterans. So stay tuned. Hashtag buckle up. But hopefully everything goes well. And if you don't see anything from me, it will have gone well. But if it doesn't, I'll do a live. But thank you all. You all have a great day, a blessed day. I'll be praying for you all. I'll be praying for Acting Mayor Zim. I'll be praying for Janice's father, and please. I'll also be praying for Carl Hughes that he makes a good recovery, and make sure you all hit the links down below. Donate to help save Harley Grace, sign the petition against Judge Grudge, and yeah, we'll be doing some good things today. Today's going to be a good day. So, thank you all for joining, and as always, thank you for being worth serving.